Hi, second grade. Okay, for this one, we're gonna do the rest of our handwriting strokes for uppercase letters. So we're gonna start with the overcurve letters, and that's the I, uppercase I, J, and Q. So we're gonna start at the bottom of our line. Again, I'm writing backwards, so bear with me. Bottom of the line and up. So it's kind of like the what was that one called? The down curve, but instead of going from the top to the bottom, you're going from the bottom to the top. So like you would write uppercase I, okay? You're going from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top. Okay, so make sure you trace and write, and go ahead and trace the highlighted areas of the uppercase letters also. Make sure it starts at the baseline and at the headline or the top line. So then we're going to look at the double curve. The double curve begins at the top line and kind of has a little wiggle, and ends at the bottom line, okay? So it's just a little wiggle, like that, okay? Luckily, you only have two letters for this, the T and the F. So in my case, I get to write it twice because of my name. I'm so lucky. But, so if you were writing uppercase T, you would start from the top. And just, that didn't work at all, did it? Sorry, guys. From the top. That didn't work either. See, working upside down doesn't work very well. So, with this one. So, just a little squiggle. Just a little. So trace it really, trace the T, trace the F that's highlighted, the parts that's highlighted, and then trace and write each one of those also. And make sure it begins at the headline and ends at the baseline. Don't go over the blue line and don't go below the red line. Then we're gonna look at the undercurve loop letters. That's the uppercase G, S, and L. So with the G, or with those, you're going to start at the bottom and then loop to the midline. Okay, start at the bottom with a curve and loop to the midline. Okay, G is not my favorite letter to write, but I will do it for you guys. Luckily, I do not have a G in my name. So remember, you're starting at the bottom line, loop over, don't make the loop too big. That's why you need to trace and write, so that you can practice how big the loop needs to be. Make sure the loop ends at the midline and that the loop is not too huge. We also don't want it, we don't want it looking like that. But we also don't want it looking like that, too skinny, right? We want to trace it first so that we know how big the loop should be. Then we're going to look at the undercurve slant letter. So the undercurve slant letter begins at the baseline, or the midline, and you have a little curve and then goes down. Okay, so you begin at the baseline with just a little curve up and then down. So we don't want it looking like that. That wouldn't be good. We also don't want it looking like that, where there's no space at all, right? So no good. You need a little bit of a slant, and make sure it slants. We don't want it straight up and down. So this goes with the uppercase P, R, and B. And yeah, the P looks a lot like a printed P, doesn't it? So, and you go back up around like that. So trace the highlighted parts of those 3 letters, and then trace and write each one. And then you'll also have worksheets. Make sure you trace one and write one. And what we're going to do as we learn the letters, our first letters that we're going to learn how to write are going to involve the down curve letters. And we've done those before in our lowercase letters. So we're not going to revisit the stroke before we do those letters. But when we learn all these other new curves for like the N's and the I's and the G's and the T's and the P's, we will do another practice page of the strokes just to get you guys back in the groove of things. Okay? See, have a good day.